Hi everybody, this one's in response to Julie's email. The way I see it right now, we're starting reaching the capacity for how we designed our usage of Canvas with Traeger, and we can go two routes in this. So if I look at this kind of flow chart here, we have the Canvas course, and right now we have two options. Option number one is what we've been doing already, is that we just basically have the course here, and we have the navigation, and we always have the teachers basically click into modules, and when they go into modules, it is an area where it's viewable by every single person, and regardless of whichever group they're in, they see everything. So they see Traeger Life, they see our student engagement, our team time meetings and everything. They see the student success group communication and so on and so forth. Within each of these individual groups then, there is also a bunch of resources. So the student success group over here sees the Traeger Life resources and so on and so forth. And you see as each of these are expanded, this starts to become a pretty convoluted mess underneath the module section, especially as our team meetings start to expand. When we first built this whole team meetings thing wasn't necessarily a part of the mixture, and that's going to probably be the most heavily utilized area and one of the busiest ones in the whole mix. So let me shrink that back up a little bit. And the other option would be to go into Canvas groups and actually use Canvas groups inside of our CTMS course. What that would look like is that we would basically have our individual groups for our action teams. So Traeger Life would have its own group inside of the CTMS course. What that would do then is give Traeger Life its own home page inside of Canvas in the actual CTMS course again. So it's still housed under that umbrella, same place to go to, just a different part of that same course. They would have their own announcements where they could keep their notes about what's going on when they meet and where they should meet and all that kind of stuff. They have their own capacity to run discussions within their own group. They have their own set of pages, and they also have their own set of people, so everyone would know who's in the group and which group that they belong to. So they would put all of their resources within this group. Eventually, those things could be moved over into modules once there's a final draft, but all the initial planning and all the day-to-day stuff would be housed in the course group section. The same goes for the student success group, and the same goes for communication. As you notice, this particular group setup, it looks maybe like it's complicated, but there's kind of a finite path that it follows as you go through. Instead of, if I go back and expand this one becomes quite messy, where all of it leads back to this one area, and it gets to be really, really messy here because everyone in the course can view it. In this particular case, only course groups get to view the stuff that's in their own group. So the student success group doesn't have to see all of the individual planning of Traeger Life. Again, at any point in time, Traeger Life can move out any of its finalized resources back over here into the module section, so that really what's there in the Traeger Life section is really only finished resources that are ready to share with all of the other people, instead of all of their team notes, their day-to-day stuff, so it stays a little less convoluted and it's a bit more purposeful. So you probably can tell from my bias what my suggestion is. Since we have course groups already set up basically, and we have a bunch of different groups in our building, I would suggest that we go to the path on the right side and actually organize them that way. I think now is a good time to do it. It can be done retroactively so that we don't really have to change a whole lot around. The only thing that would need to happen is that probably the course group leaders would have to be trained a little bit as to how they would go about helping the people within their group to reach the resources correctly. So that's my response to Julie, and I think it's a good idea is to maybe clean that up a little bit, and hopefully this helps you understand how it could possibly be cleaned up a little bit more logistically. Let me know if you have questions. Hopefully we can meet about it soon.